many of you know, Jeremy is a dog lover. And we are too, because of the wonderful stories that you share. Today he'd like to teach us some of the basic things he's learned on how to interact with dogs. Get your pens and pencils ready. Here to teach us the basics of dog training is Jeremy Udell.
Sit! Stay! Now let's assume Michelle is a canine. Notice I did not use the word dog. Michelle is going to be my canine companion. Can anyone tell me what I did wrong here just now?
You didn't give her a reward.
That's a good one. That's absolutely right. What else?
Harsh language scared her.
Good, loud. Really loud. This is important, by the way, for dog lovers and dog owners such as myself, and non-dog owners. Can I get a quick show of hands? Raise your hand if you own a dog. A lot of you. Raise your hand if you've ever been to a house or ever think you will be at a house where there is a dog. So this is relevant to pretty much everybody here. Now, of course, you're not going to be training somebody else's dog. I mean, that's pretty much a given. But there's also a really good chance that almost every dog has been given some of the very basic training. And believe me, sit and stay are the most basic of commands. Did you know? Some studies now show that dogs can learn up to 500 words. And that's not just the really smart ones, like German Shepherds. In fact, Germans, some people say, can learn as many as 3,000 individual commands, a veritable montage of commands. Today we're going to stick to the very basics. Going back to what I did wrong there, what did it sound like when I was yelling over here at Michelle to a dog? Maybe a little bit like,
anger.
Ruff, ruff!
Right.
What does a dog do when they hear another dog bark? Bark, right? Or at least get excited. The last place you want your dog to be when you're trying to get them to focus on you and obey you is all excited and barking. You want them to be calm, so therefore you want to be calm. You want to be firm, sit, stay, but you don't want to be yelling at your dog because they will take it as a bark. The next thing is I was doing this to her. It's unlikely this means anything to a dog, but not only even if it did mean something to a dog, not only would it not mean sit and stay together, but it's unlikely it means anything. So what does mean sit? Because dogs learn by visual cues better than they learn by your words. Dogs are very visual. So how am I going to teach my dog? Or how am I going to interact with a dog to get it to sit? Well, the first thing I'm going to do, as Annette so well pointed out to me, when I'm training my dogs, I need a little treat, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little treat, and I'm going to put it right here between my thumb and forefinger. Why there? I can hold it there easily. I have free access to move my hands around, do different gestures. When I'm ready to give the dog the treat, I just kind of release it into my palm. And they can also smell it very easily in there, but not necessarily be able to dig it out of there, even if they really, really want it. So if I want my dog to sit, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hand out like this. Notice it wasn't just me doing this and throwing my hand out there. I'm literally putting my hand out slowly like that. Why? Because as a dog sits, its head moves backwards. So it's following that treat backwards as it's sitting. And it wants to follow that treat, trust me. So you're going to move that hand backwards over its head as it learns to sit. And when it sits, you go ahead and release it and give it its treat. Now I want it to stay. What do I do to get my dog to stay where it is? Well, I have a lovely canine sitting over here. What do I do if I want her to just stay right there? The gesture for that is very simple and a nice, easy transition from sit, stay. Right? Same basic hand gesture, but instead of out like that, right in front of her nose. Why like that? Now I've got it right in front of her. She's not going to go anywhere. She's staring right at that treat, and her movement forward is blocked by my hand right there. As she starts to learn that, I can move that further and further away and make her stay longer and longer before she gets her treat. But in the meantime, she definitely is learning that this motion and the word stay means she should stay put. Now let's just say you've got an exceptionally rowdy dog. You've just walked in the door to a house and you're not getting the dog's attention, even when you're being calm and firm and giving him commands and you know the right hand gestures and everything, but the dog's just crazy. There are some corrections to use that will get the dog's attention. You can be loud with them, but not in a barking fashion. The way I was taught, and the way that definitely works to get all the dog's attention into my house, is to say,
Oh, man.
You notice that that noise gets every attention, but it doesn't sound like a bark. Anyone who's watched The Dog Whisperers probably heard another noise that is loud and doesn't sound like a bark. The dog hears that noise. It's kind of a high-pitched noise, too. You get the dog's attention. It breaks that focus on that excitement they were having, and now you've got them looking at you so that you can go ahead and say, sit, stay. Now they're going to bring it back down. If you'd like to learn some more advanced commands, PetSmart teaches courses on dog training. There's also courses online, or you can shop for local courses online if you don't want to go to PetSmart. But for today, the 3 things I wanted you to pay attention to are to stay calm, use appropriate hand gestures, and to correct correctly. Do that, and your interactions with your canine companions will go much more smoothly. Miss Desmond.